I was diagnosed with skin cancer last year when I was 27. I went to the dermatologist for the first time in my life in August just to get checked out. I had no sense that anything was wrong. But less than 20 minutes after I walked into the exam room, my dermatologist was cutting a suspicious mole out of my arm. She called me days later to tell me I'd had melanoma. I was lucky. My cancer was caught early, before it could grow and spread in my body, and it was easy to remove. But the experience left me with questions. Questions like, what would have happened if I hadn't gone to the doctor when I did? How many other young people are walking around with cancer? And eventually, why is that number going up? In most cases, cancer doesn't strike until late in life, but it's grown more common among younger people since the 1990s, even as it's declined slightly in older adults. Between 2000 and 2019, cancer rates increased about 18% in Americans under 50. Among 15 to 39-year-olds, the jump was even bigger, over 20%. The increase spans a number of different cancers, though the cancer I had, melanoma, actually isn't one of them. Some types impacting the reproductive organs, like breast cancer, uterine cancer, and testicular cancer, are. Several gastrointestinal cancers, too, like stomach cancer and colorectal cancer. Colorectal cancer spiked almost 45% among adolescents and young adults in that time. Cancers in the blood and bone marrow have been growing more common in the age group as well. And it's not just in the US. This is happening in countries all over the world. Cancer researchers aren't entirely sure why. They say people being screened more partly explains why the numbers are going up, especially for thyroid cancer and prostate cancer, but that doesn't account for the whole increase. They also theorize the rates are rising because of a slew of environmental and lifestyle changes that have taken place since the mid-20th century. A major suspect they point to is obesity, which has been increasing since the 1960s and become more common in children and teens. But there are a lot of other factors they think could be involved as well. Aspects of our diets, like our intake of sugar-sweetened beverages and red and processed meat, our more sedentary lifestyles, all the CT scans and x-rays people get now. Experts I talked to said people getting taller could be involved, or our sleep patterns, or changes in the community of microorganisms that live in our bodies. The list goes on. Whatever the specific causes are, the rise in rates may also start affecting older adults down the road. Several researchers I spoke to say it's likely that the age group now going through adolescence and young adulthood, who have been exposed to a cocktail of not yet fully understood risk factors early in our lives, will likely continue to experience higher rates of cancer as we get older. People aged 50 to 64 are already getting advanced colorectal cancers more often. Researchers are continuing to study why all this is happening, which may help us better learn how to counter the trend. But in the meantime, more than 85,000 Americans between 15 and 39 are being diagnosed with cancer each year, and they face a unique set of challenges. Unlike me, a lot of young patients are diagnosed late after their cancer has become more advanced. And while most of them, more than 85%, survive their initial diagnosis, they face increased risks to both their physical and mental health even after they finish treatment. Having cancer early in life can also disrupt patients' educations or force them to step away from work just when they're in the process of beginning their careers. It can threaten their fertility as they're considering starting families. It can be extremely expensive. A number of young patients and survivors have to take out loans, and some even end up declaring bankruptcy. There's more awareness about all of this now than there was when early-onset cancer rates started rising 3 decades ago. But this age group is still considered underserved and underrepresented when it comes to cancer. And one reason many young patients are diagnosed at a more advanced stage is because both they and their doctors often don't think of cancer as a probable explanation for their symptoms. I know I never suspected I would get it this young. And even though I had a family history of cancer, and skin cancer in particular, I didn't know what to look for. In my case, the warning sign was that one of my moles was 2 different colors. Researchers stress how important it is to further raise awareness about cancer in young people, among both us and our healthcare providers. There's so much we do know about the cancers most likely to affect this age group, about factors that can affect cancer risk, about warning signs to watch for. I only began learning about it all after I'd already been diagnosed, but you can start right now.